Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is REGANELITE here. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? Why my fix that? Welcome to episode 91 of Snowflake Viewpoint, where we watch. Well, where we it's been a hell of a day. I'll get to it in a moment. We're covering the latest news in the UK. Episode 91 of Snowflake Viewpoint. We are 9 episodes away from 100 of these live streams, guys. The date and time of this live stream is the 24th of February 2025 at 8 p.m. UK time. We are dual streaming live on youtube.com/ReganElite and on twitch.tv/ReganElite1. If you're on Twitch, make sure you hit that follow button. Do leave comments. I don't bite, unless, of course, you're an idiot. We do get some idiots on Twitch chat, unfortunately. It's very rare we get good people. Very rare. But if you do, feel free to say hello. And for everyone on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button, share, subscribe, the usual stuff. The last several hours have been highly stressful for me very personally. I was even contemplating not even live streaming. If you had asked me 40 minutes ago, would I be live streaming, I would have said no, given my situation. But I am here, and somehow I pulled it off. Sorry, I can't disclose what's been going on. Personally, all I can say is I'm a bit upset right now because I'm locked out of my Rumble channel, and I've only just discovered this evening. So I literally just recorded a video. I was gonna get straight out there onto the platform, and for some reason I can't log into my account. I don't know why. It won't let me on. So I don't know what to do. So I need to do that. So right now Rumble's kind of inactive. It's already been inactive for 2 weeks, and until I can get back in, it's going to be inactive even longer from the looks of it, which is a real shame. Because the was growing quite a platform on there. Even though it was still 69, 68 followers, it's still slowly something growing there. Just like TikTok, which is near 800 followers as well. But hopefully I'll get that fixed soon. So Dave McGuinness, good to see you, buddy. I hope you're doing well. Steve Banker, good to see you there. Ginger Lefty, good to see you there, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Alex Adams, good to see you there. Hope you're doing well. Madmonk33 as well. Anybody else who may be lurking in the chats. My apologies. Today has been a rough day. Can't talk about it, but anyways, let's move on about my problems, because you're not here to hear about my problems. We are here to talk about politics and news, and let's get we've got a couple of stories here, guys. I think I might have I don't think I've got any stories related to Trump, which actually is kind of good, because we don't kind of get sick and tired of hearing Trump all the time. That's for sure. Trump does drive us a bit insane. So we talked about this story a while ago. It's only since it's come up, but the sentencing has been confirmed for this. So it's from The Guardian here. The MP Mike Amesbury sentenced to 10 weeks in prison for assault. So Amesbury, 55, admitted a charge after punching a man on the ground on a night out in Frobsham, Cheshire. So the guy's gone from Mr. I'm all that, to throwing it, showing off and showboating after for assaulting a person on the street just because he thinks because he's an MP that he'll get no accountability whatsoever. He should have seen what was coming a mile away. Does 10 weeks seem harsh, or does it seem too light? Bear in mind, this is a MP after all as well. I just wish that other MPs, other politicians who are a bit more powerful would pay the same price, but we know that's not really the case, unfortunately. So, Joe, good to see you there, buddy. Hope you're doing well. So, yeah. So, Mike Amesbury, the MP for Walcon and Hesbury, has been sentenced to 10 weeks in prison for punching a man to the ground. Amesbury, who was suspended by the Labour Party after investigation last month, admitted a single charge of Section 39 assault in relation to the incident after a night out in his constituency. The Labour Party said Amesbury constituents deserve better by means of a new Labour MP after the sentence, which appears to blindside Amesbury and his legal team. Police interviewed the 55-year-old after the Mail Online published footage of the incident, which took place on the main street of Frodsham, Cheshire, in the early hours of the 26th of October last year. I've looked back on this incident, and like, here's the thing, like, we're all human beings and we all make mistakes and we say and do things that we shouldn't do. But when you're a politician, especially for a political party, like, you really, really need to think about how you conduct yourself at all times. And just because the cameras aren't on you, just because you're not working, doesn't mean that you can that you can slack off, shall we say. There's always eyes and ears everywhere. Whenever you step out in that public, you should always think about, you should always think about your actions and your words. When you really should. This is something that, should be on the minds all the time. Like, I know there's, like, I have no problem, obviously, with politicians. Like anybody, you need to switch off, relax, and all that kind of stuff. But he shouldn't have done what he did. And it was just ridiculous. The video taken from CCTV camera shows Amesbury hitting Paul Felon's 45 in the face, knocking him to the ground. Yep. We've seen the footage. If you haven't seen the footage, it's not hard to look it up, guys. Imran said, you were out drunk in the early hours. The attack was unprovoked. Being in drink is no excuse, and as a member of parliament, you could reasonably expect robust challenges from constituents and members of the public. You continued the attack while the victim was on the ground. This incident may not well have come to an end had the bystander had not intervened. Your conduct would have had an impact on others watching on. You continue to rant as you left. Yeah. Your reference to be a member of parliament in the aftermath brings negative impact to your office, to the privilege that you hold, your profile, and the position of power as a servant of the people, to be a role model to others. That is something you have to be mindful of in all that you do. The conviction could pave the way for the by-election in Amesbury constituency when he won the seat in the last general election. It should be automatic. This should be automatic. I think if there are certain incidences, there should be. It shouldn't even be like up for debate. It should be automatic. It should be automatic. Like something like this, it should be no questions asked, by-election. No questions asked. Like it should be as simple as that. Like, because the people in his constituency did not vote for a man to vote for a man like that. Good morning, Steve McMorrin, and anybody else lurking in the chats. Like, it just shouldn't, like, pave the way. Can we just, like, give it already? The court heard Amesbury had been drinking before he arrived in a taxi rank. Listen, I know alcohol influences people, but still, he's a politician. Like, let's just remember that, yeah? I know alcohol is sometimes a form of defense of, I was drinking, I wasn't thinking, I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I know, I've heard of that defense, but we shouldn't always use it. When first approached him to reminisce about a bridge closure in the town. Footage shows Amesbury punched Fellows to the head, knocking him to the ground, then following him onto the road and started to punch him again at least 5 times. He was then heard saying, "You won't threaten your MP again, will you? Effing sod lad." Yeah. You listen. You're always gonna get constituents having a go at you, but you got to learn to control your temper. And clearly, he didn't control his temper. The sentence was made in apparent shock in the courtroom. Richard Derby, representing Amesbury, asked the judge, "Is that an immediate sentence?" The judge nodded, replied yes, and left the courtroom. Derby then requested the judge to come back into court as he wished to make an application for bail for Amesbury pending an appeal against his sentence. Imran returned to the court, sat down, paused brief, and said the application refused. By-election would be triggered if Amesbury resigns as an MP. As Amesbury's sentence is less than a year, he is allowed to continue as an independent MP during any appeals he might take, but if those appeals are unsuccessful, he would then subject to a recall petition. The petition would be open for 6 weeks, and 10% of the voters in his constituency would need to sign it to remove Amesbury as MP. If the threshold is met, it would trigger the by-election. Do we really have to go through these loopholes? Conservative co-par chair Nicole Hudson calls for Amesbury to resign. It is right that Mike Amesbury has pled guilty for his inappropriate actions. The residents of Rygone and Helsbury deserve an MP who is able to stand up for them in Parliament. Mike Amesbury should do the right thing and resign. He should resign. The Labour Party spokesperson said the Labour Party took swift action following completely unacceptable actions and is no longer an MP or a member of the Labour Party. It is right that Mr Amesbury pleaded guilty and has now been sentenced. Labour did the right thing getting rid of them. Local residents in the Rubicon and Helsbury constituency deserve better, and we look forward to them getting the representatives they deserve in the future with a new Labour MP. Yeah, how did that go for you? Stupid man is what he is. He's a stupid man. Shouldn't have done what he did. Absolute stupid. See if any of you guys want to add what's happened to the long arm of the law. I thought convicted criminals couldn't be an MP. Well, the problem is that he's already an elected MP, Alex. That's the problem. The system is crap, I know. I think if it was before he ran as a member MP, if it was like in his history, they'd be probably a bit different. I'll talk about that tomorrow, Trump and Macron, Steve. If this had been an SNP or a Scottish Green Westminster, would be screaming from the rafters. To be fair, like, at least it's being covered in the media. Whereas one of the things I've got to show here hasn't been covered at all by any news. I don't know how, which I'll share later. But I mean, it's right that it's been called out and he's gone. But it's like, it does make me question. Like, again, like, I'm sure you guys agree with me that some of the candidates, some of the people who have been elected by Labour, certainly are questionable. I mean, I don't know. I'd probably say Reform people's are more questionable. But it's still very frustrating to say the least. But yeah, I hope he does get forced out. Like, I hope he's not forced to stay there. I really hope not. Anyway. Yeah. So he should. Yeah, he should be forced out. Yeah. Hopefully. This next one I've got for you guys. This is an. I've had a bad day, and then you hear stories like this. Benefits and foreign aid cut are needed to fund extra defence spending, Labour MPs say. So Keir Starmer expects to outline an increase in defence spending after saying Donald Trump was right that Europeans, including the United Kingdom, have to do more for our defence and security. Now, before I lose my temper over the first part there, let me just talk about the defence spending. Now, absolutely, we do need to increase defence spending. I absolutely agree with that. And yes, Europe absolutely needs to kick up the backside. Let's be absolutely real about this. We have been relying too much on America for too long. We should, I think Phil Morehouse did a brilliant video. I can't remember when it was. It was today, yesterday, or the day before, where he said we need to stop relying on America anyway, but we should be not even buying American weapons and arms. We should be buying our own European arms, buying our own weapons, building our own guns and supplies that we need. And I 100% agree. We need to be having our own troops. We need to be having our own security. You know, Poland being on the border, they understand the situation that they are in. The Baltic countries Finland, who are on that border with Russia, know exactly what that's like. We need to pull our weight, and it's been too long. But the question is, obviously, all this kind of talk, all this ravaging talk of saying we need to increase defence spending, yada, all costs money. So where does the money come from? Well, that's quite obvious. We obviously want the billionaires and the millionaires to pay for it because they have plenty of cash. Let's get the money from them. No, fuck that. We're just going to rip more money out of the benefits and foreign aid because clearly that's the fucking solution. Like, what the hell is wrong with people? Like, what the hell is wrong with people? I'm so fucking sick and tired of people demoralizing, demeaning people on benefits. They are not the fucking problem. Like, how many times has Gary Stevenson been talking about inequality in fucking society right now? And all we are doing is punching down on the people who are suffering right now. And you talk about foreign aid cuts. They want to cut fucking foreign aid. Do you have any idea how damaging that would be? You are literally killing people as a direct result of it. Literally killing people. And we've talked, and you've heard this on other channels as well, about the USA cut, USA aid. When that got cut, when they shut the power off that over in America, people died. People died because of it. And we want to talk about doing it here. Yes, of course we need to increase defense spending. I 100% agree. But there are plenty of places where we can get the money for it. And it pisses me off when they say they don't have the fucking money. They always have money. When the government tells you they don't have money, they're lying to you. They always have money. Whenever it comes to shit like this, they have the money. And this fucking Labour MP Labour MPs here. Absolute bollocks. We know the money is sitting on the millionaires and billionaires. And they can pay their fair share of tax. They can pay a little bit more without the cost of people struggling to survive, literally struggling to survive in this goddamn country. And yet all we fucking talk about is cutting benefits. It just absolutely infuriates me. It absolutely infuriates me. To try in some way, shape or form to justify this for defense spending, it's bollocks. Okay, I'm just not having this. It's just absolute fucking bollocks. Spending on the welfare system and foreign aid will have to be cut to pay for a dramatic increase in defence expenditures, arsehole Labour MPs have told the iPaper. The idiots said it was inevitable that the additional savings would have to be found across Whitehall to quickly ramp up military spending, and concerns that Europe can no longer rely on America for its security. We all agree that we can't rely on America for security anymore. The news comes ahead of a critical week for Keir Starmer, in which he will fly to Washington, D.C. to hold talks with Ukraine with US President Donald Trump on Thursday. Labour is currently committed to increase spending on defence from its current levels of 2.3% of GDP to 2.5% by 2030. However, with Trump demanding European countries spend more on their military, with the US saying it will no longer be primarily focused on the security of Europe, and with the exception that European nations may have to deploy peacekeeping troops into Ukraine, Starmer is coming under pressure to go further and faster. Speaking in Glasgow today, Starmer appeared to set the tone for his White House meeting, saying Trump was right that we Europeans, including the United Kingdom, have to do more for our defence and security. Yeah, he's suckering up to him. And Billy Kershaw, good to see you there. And number 3, anybody else? And Simon there as well. Anybody else lurking in the chat? Feel free to say hello. Either like this, I know, I get it, guys. I hate Keir Starmer sucking up to Donald Trump. But in a way, he's doing this. He's doing this in the. I think he's trying to play him, just like lots of people are trying to play Trump as well. I generally think that's what he's doing, because if you recall the first phone call they had, Keir Starmer and Trump, when Trump came to power, it was a very good phone call, because even Trump had said that it was a very good phone call. So I do think Keir Starmer can get a bit of calm out of him. Can maybe get 1 or 2 concessions out of him. I'm not holding my breath on it, but I do think, yeah. I mean, I would have Keir Starmer in that room, then Rishi Sunak, Liz Truss, Boris Johnson. Yeah, I would. I mean, I know he's boring. I know he's problematic. Don't get me wrong, but you know, I feel a lot better Keir Starmer doing this than some of the other candidates. Like, can you imagine Kemi Bakkenot? Imagine Kemi, your Prime Minister, going across the pond. I will sort this out with Donald Trump. Labour MPs widely believe the ramping up military spending will have to be funded by cuts across a number of departments to protect ring-fence areas such as the NHS. Now, absolutely, the NHS needs to be ring-fenced, because, yeah, we need to get that back on its feet, because unless we get the National Healthcare Service going, we'll never get the economy going. You can't have a reliable workforce with a broken National Healthcare Service. We know that, but it has been going in the right direction in some aspects here. Labour MP said there's not going to be a solution where the money of all comes out of one pot. Yeah, there is a solution. It's called the millionaires and billionaires, but you just won't listen. Probably small amounts of savings in lots of different places. Luke Annahals, the MP for North Durham, meanwhile told the iPaper it is about communicating to the electorate that is our top responsibility of any government, Labour Tory, is the protection of citizens and its interests of national security. I mean, we have to find additional savings from elsewhere in order to meet our commitments when it comes to defence spending. Labour MP said that savings would likely come from unprotected departments outside their health and education. That could include reducing the welfare bill by getting people off benefits and into work. You were already... This is the thing that really pisses me off. They were already going to be trying to do this anyway. So how exactly are you going to squeeze more people? This just feels like just a lot of talk, just to gaslight people. It just feels like this talk is just to gaslight people. Second Labour MP agreed, saying it was already obvious that the welfare spending needs urgent change to be reduced dramatically. The MP added that diverting international aid to spend minor foreign and defensive priorities should be part of the answer. No, I don't agree with that at all. I really, really don't. The Conservatives said on Sunday they would support moving money from the welfare and aid budgets into defence. Oh, of course you would support that. It's almost as if the Conservatives and Labour are the same. Seen a pattern here, guys. Another Labour MP said reprioritising money from aid to defence was an excellent idea. Yeah, let's kill African babies while making sure we have enough rockets and missiles for our armed forces. Because that's literally hyperbole what they are saying here. Excellent idea. Shows how fucking dumb these people are. The principle should be every penny we spend overseas should be driven by national security, they said. Do these Labour MPs understand how important foreign aid is? Some may still end up in things we do under aid budget, but it's not aid, it's about projecting power and security. But it would mean more on hard power and less on poverty by reducing type things. However, not all Labour MPs are on board with the idea of cutting spending on aid, because some of them have common sense, which was already reduced by Boris Johnson from 0.7% of national income to 0.5% during the COVID pandemic. A Labour MP said suggesting cutting overseas aid would be self-defeating. Why would you stop doing something that is about soft power and diplomacy and solving conflicts before they happen in order to use that to fund defence? ? Exactly. Yeah. Just because there's a conflict far, far away doesn't mean the ripple effects don't affect us here. Yeah. Just because Ukraine is far away from us doesn't mean they aren't affecting us. Just because what's happening in Sudan doesn't, just because it's happening over there and it doesn't appear to affect us doesn't mean it isn't. There's always a ripple effect. It just depends on how big or how small that ripple is. Labour backbencher said it's not a very Labour thing to do. No, it is not. If you really did want to piss off the whole of the middle of the Parliamentary Labour Party, you turn around to them and say we need more kit for the military and we're going to pay for it by taking food from out of the mouths of starving children in Africa. I literally just said that. Literally just said that. I want to know who said that. I wish I knew the MP who said that. However, one of the MPs who backed diverting money from the aid budget said they believe that the PLP could be won round. Aid is definitely a sensitive subject for many, but there are many sensitive subjects, they said. The PLP will get on board because Keir is the PM, and it's so obvious that Britain needs to spend more on defence in this world. And in the worst case, well, we could do it on Tory votes. Oh my God. So they could. So we could potentially have a scenario, guys, where they pass a bill to reduce foreign aid for defence spending, and Labour gets split votes, but the Conservatives get them over the line. That's insane. Some of these days are reported to have been at Wargaming Thursday's meeting, having spent recent days attempting not to fan the flames of Trump's outburst against President Vladimir Zelensky and other European leaders. Yep, don't say anything. PM said over the weekend that Trump was right. Yeah, we've know that already. Education Secretary Philip Briston said the UK will significantly increase commitment from the current 2.3% share of gross domestic products and urge other allies to step up alongside that. Asked by Sky News whether the Prime Minister would promise Trump the UK will spend much more when he meets him next week. Well, we'll have to wait and see on that. No point asking him now. We'll get there. Ambitious, also in the context of public finances. Let's be honest, we've left the blaming. Yeah, we don't need to hear all that. Speaking of Times Radio, she also suggested the UK ultimately needs to go further than the 2.5% target, which the previous Tory government had pledged to reach by 2030. Asked whether the figure was enough. She said, no, it's not enough. We need to go further. Recognise that. Recognise the need to go further, and as do our allies, both in reaching 2.5% commitment, making sure that we do everything is necessary to keep our country safe. Downstreet was contacted for comment. Number 3 there in the chat saying $3,000 per shell, 250,000 for Storm Shadow, $500,000 for Barcode drone. I've been told that the Ministry of Defence wastes the most amount of taxpayer money. So yeah, so they're like, where we need to increase money on defence. Oh, you want to increase money on defence? Why don't you actually tell us where exactly you're spending that money exactly? That's what I would like to know. Where are you? What parts? Where are you exactly spending your money? I think that's a better question we should be asking ourselves. See what else you guys are saying in the chat. The whole money mindset is highly suspect, says number 3. Jal says he's an MP, and if he's weak, he can't hold his alcohol. He should drink at home. Weak people have these reactions. A drunk is annoying, but only violent if he uses to do it. He says there with regards to the previous story. Evening at 100 Pagan. Guys, myself and 100 Pagan will be coming together this Thursday. Do check that out at 8 o'clock. Do check out his YouTube channel as well. This is a shit culture. Number 3 says to Jal. Jal says people are still supporting a person like Farage that would be in jail for most of Europe. Yeah, if you've seen my comments on the recent video about Nigel Farage that's gone viral. Well, like, I wouldn't call 900 views viral, but it's still a lot of them don't like what I said there. Oh, I'm going to be talking about reform again, just Westminster doesn't have a problem with targeting the elderly and vulnerable people, Sistine Banker. No, they don't. They don't seem to at all. No, they don't. Yeah, very frustrating. It's already happening in EU. Contracts with American companies are being replaced by EU, UK, and other sources. Most EU says, yeah, that's what they need to do. They need to get rid of the US. Yeah, stop contracts with the US and start doing them with EU. And here's the other thing as well. When you think about it, I know we're going off the main topic there, but this is an opportunity for private companies to take advantage of the situation. European private companies to take advantage of the situation. You know, there's an opportunity for them to make a lot of money right here, right now in this situation. So it makes sense that they should take advantage of it. I don't know enough about this story, but considering we'll be covering one or two things on reform, I want to share this one with you guys. So, ex-Reform UK leader in Wales, Nathan Gill, is in court over alleged Russian bribes. Yeah, because clearly Reform UK has no connections whatsoever to Russia at all, guys. No connections at all. Mr. Gill is alleged to have been asked to make specific statements about Russia in return for money. So, the former leader of Reform UK in Wales, has appeared in court after he was accused of making favourable statements about Russia in the European Parliament in exchange for bribes. So Nathan Gill, 51, had been charged with 1 count of conspiracy to commit bribery under the Criminal Law Act 1977 and with 8 counts of bribery under the Bribery Act 2010, the Metropolitan Police has said. Westminster's Magistrate Court's heard Gill allegedly made statements in the European Parliament and in opinion pieces to news outlets such as 112 Ukraine, which were supportive of a particular narrative that would benefit Russia regarding events in Ukraine. Gill, who was an MEP for almost 6 years and a member of the Welsh Parliament, the seat between 2016 and 2017, is alleged to have been asked by former Ukrainian politician Oleg Voskin to make specific statements about Russia in return for money on at least 8 occasions. The conspiracy to commit bribery charges relate to allegations that Gill conspired with Voskin and others between the 1st of January 2018 and 1st of 2020. Now, why is this? Why are we being told this? Why are we being told this? Like, how can we really say that there definitely isn't other politicians and MPs that aren't in the same boat, that perhaps are just being kept quiet about this? Daily Blase, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Guys, make sure you check out Daily Blase's YouTube channel and his Friday Frolics of every Friday at 5 p.m. as well. It's claimed that he accepted qualities of cash in money, which was the improper performance of him in his functional activity as the holder of a position of an MEP. The other bribery offences are alleged to have taken place between the 6th of December 2018 and the 18th of July 2019. Gill from Lafayette on Ansley was previously a member of the UK Independence Party, UKIP, leading the Welsh wing of the party between 2014 and 2016. Yeah, I thought he was UKIP. He left UKIP in 2019. The same year, he joined Nigel Farage's Brexit Party, later Reform UK, and was elected as the Brexit Party MEP. Gill was confirmed as leader of Reform UK in Wales in 2021 ahead of the seed elections. Reports suggest he left the party months after later when he failed to win a seat. Well, of course he wasn't going to win a seat. Spokesperson for Reform UK Wales confirms Gill was no longer a member, saying the party would not be commenting. Not going to say anything. Gill was stopped at Manchester Airport on the 13th of September 2021 under the Counter-Terrorism and Border Security Act. The court also heard. So it sounds like he was trying to leave. Crown Prosecution Service says charges have been authorised against Foskin, but he is not in the jurisdiction. He was granted bail on the condition that he surrenders his passport, does not obtain international travel documents, and does not contact Foskin, who's due to be at the Old Bailey on the 14th of March. Yeah, when someone comes at you with a bit of money, you are tempted. I do recommend in the next few days, guys, there's going to be a video. I got an interesting video from Byline Times about how Donald Trump is likely to be a Russian asset, if you haven't already. But this shows to me that I just don't accept this premise that reform are not loosely or loosely connected to Russia in some way, shape, or form. I mean, we don't know. It's only allegations. But yes, this is someone very low key in reform. But still, the fact that this has happened, this allegation has happened, raises questions. I think if you try to challenge reform on this, they'll probably just turn around and say he's left the party, he wasn't a big member, or just try to play it down is what they will do. But we need to call this out. The fact that they took alleged Russian bribes here, it's just very, very frustrating. John Henley, Defence Secretary, held a press conference last week laying out security and defence priorities at home, including derailing with decades of wasteful spending, including from the last lab tenure, says one angry pagan. Thanks for that, appreciate it. If you want to make money, join the arms trade. I reckon that a standard cruise missile costs less than 50k to make, possibly less than 10k, sells for 250k, is number 3. Yeah, but still, it's, as much as I want to make some money for myself, I just don't think, selling arms, it's not in my conscience to do so. I mean, I just can't do what Nicolas Cage did in that film. It just wouldn't be in my good conscience, What worries me is the pressure over government to create a quick response to nuclear deterrent answers, but it is coming anyway, so we'll have to live with it, says Zhao. I do wonder actually if nuclear deterrent is playing a factor into why Europe is not really going after Russia. It's because they're scared that Russia might fire its nuclear missiles. I don't know if Putin's going to be mad enough to do that. I don't think he is. I could be wrong though. But this Nathan Gill guy, we'll have to wait and see. We also have to stress it is allegations. It's not facts. It's allegations on that. But what is a fact is that Ireland have gone quite a few days without the sun, guys. And dear oh dear, oh god, where's my headphones? There. Don't run away, chat. Hold on. I gotta listen to this with you guys. So apparently, Dublin had no sunshine for 10 days. Absolute outrage, and obviously, Garen had to express his feelings about this situation, guys.
Give us back the fucking sun! Ireland has had 0 hours of sunlight in 10 fucking days. No wonder we're so cranky. How are you supposed to get out of bed in the morning when the only things you have to look at are that cunt of a grey sky and other Irish people? We're so fucking ugly. I was licking my lamp earlier, trying to get a bit of fucking vitamin D out of it. I better see that fucking sun in the sky tomorrow. I don't care if it melts ice caps. I'm sick of fucking hearing about them. We're not melting any here. It's your fucking problem. You deal with it. The Irish people demand the sun. Simple as that. If not, we're fucking leaving the European Union. Everybody knows we're the only likeable people in the European Union. You can try and replace us with fucking Azerbaijan. It's not going to work. I just found out it's the jet stream with a blocking system. That doesn't sound like something you should be allowed to bring in without a visa. Fuck off, you cunt. Follow me, I'm delicious.
all that banter and rant, and then he finds out, oh, it's the fucking jet stream. Europe must become the badger defending its seed, says One Angry Pagan. Thank you for being a member for 11 months, One Angry Pagan. Really appreciate that. But there's good news, guys. There's good news. Because guess what? Garen's rant brought back the sun.
Yesterday, Ireland hadn't seen the sun in 10 days. I demanded that the sun came back. And look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Too much sun, if anything. I get shit done for the Irish people. If you want to do business with the Irish people, you're doing business with me, and I don't take shite from the fucking sun. Stay delicious. Yesterday...
It came true. It came true, guys. It came true. It came true. Oh dear, oh dear. I just need him now to say things that will benefit the rest of the world. You know, not just the Irish people. If he does that, we'll all be a lot better. You know, we'll all be a lot better if only. That is for sure, guys. But God bless Gareth. Oh dear. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. I've recorded quite a lot today, so I do apologise. Another unprofessional live stream, just like a Daily Blase. Just a reminder, guys, hit that like button, share, subscribe, all that usual stuff, guys. If you want to click the join button and join the YouTube membership for 99p, you can do if you want to as well. All that stuff really does appreciate. Any super chats is also greatly appreciated for the work that I do as well, guys. Got a lot of content I've done today for the channel. And we have a lot of live streams. I haven't got one. I haven't decided what I'm going to live stream on Friday. I'm fairly confident I'm going to live stream on Friday. I just don't know what yet. So just bear with me on that one, guys. But thank you guys all for being here. Thank you guys for your comments and support as always. It's greatly appreciated. Now it's time for another fucking rant. Parliament's answer to the drink spiking allegations. A new, bigger pub. No, I'm not kidding. This is an exclusive from The Independent. Proposals to build a bigger pub within Parliament described as beyond parody. Are these people just you know, yeah, how do we fix the situation? Oh, I know. Let's get a bigger fucking bar because that'll fix the situation. Like, for real? Like, just absolutely fucking ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. After a parliamentary researcher claimed her drink had been spiked in a House of Commons bar, questions were raised about whether the historic watering hole should be closed for good. Now, though, common authorities are considering a different approach. Build a new, larger pub inside Parliament. The suggestion has been described as beyond parody, while a Labour MP said the proposal shows the focus is in the wrong place when it comes to tackling this type of incident. Yeah, because we need a bigger bar, because we need more drinks down us, guys. We need more booze. All my live streams are totally unprofessional all the time. Well, I'm certainly not on the ball as well today. The strangest bar in the House of Commons was closed earlier this year after it emerged police were investigating reports a woman's drink was tampered with. It's due to reopen on Monday after MPs agreed to new measures including CCTV in the popular hunt, which is more narrow and often packed with MPs, researchers and journalists. But senior common sources will eventually like to build a new bar to avoid some of the problems with the current venue, The Independent can reveal. On the wish list is a bigger space to avoid overcrowding. They would also like a pub with a circular bar in the middle, allowing better views for it to be able to serve food. Oh yeah, would you also like a pole? Yes, you can have half-naked dancing girls as well. Would you like that as well? Do you know? Do you want like a? Do you want booth areas as well? Like where you know? But you know, never mind your jobs as politicians. Never mind the job as politicians, guys. We've got to give them the booze. You know, let's give them women. Like let's just throw taxpayer money, spaff it up the wall. You know, on this because obviously, you know, they need to increase defence spending, but they can't be, but they also need to continue to cut benefits for people in society because obviously the better people with better disabilities obviously don't need them. But yeah, while they're at it, let's open up the bar a bit more in Parliament. Like, am I the only one who sees a problem here? Like, hello, like, it just once again shows just how out of touch politicians are. They are so out of touch. This is insane. They're just completely out of touch here. It's just absolutely insane. Steve McMorris says it's going to be a Hooters. Hooters are going bust in America, believe it or not, Steve McMorris, I read. Oh, dear. And that's a senior parliamentary source. It's very narrow. It's very small. It does not serve food. It's got a lot of problems. It would be better to just have a bigger bar for it not to be able to serve food. Guests must be accompanied and may not buy drinks. Strangers bar. It's funny how this is the only photo I've ever seen of Strangers bar. Right, next bit. I'm losing my mind. Sorry, guys. The Labour MP, Charlotte Nicholas, said, I think, generally speaking, the focus feels like it's in the wrong place. You have all the CCTV and security in the world, but if people still don't have trust in our internal procedures to come forward, and if we still have a situation where misuse of the House of Commons stationery is often dealt with more harshly than sexual harassment, it's not really changing anything. Yeah, 100%. 100%. You have internal procedures. You have these things in place. Yeah, you're supposed to have these things to protect people. Clearly, there's a problem here. Someone needs to fix something here, and it's not being done. John McDonnell, Chief Executive of the Taxpayers Alliance, said it would be beyond parody for the Commons authorities to respond to this shocking alleged incident by building a bigger pub. This much-needed renovations and restorations to the parliamentary estate has yet to even begun. Yet bureaucratic, busty bodies are mulling over a larger space for MPs to continue knocking back subsidised booze, while Britain's pressing problems remain unsolved by a woefully political class. Absolutely. And, you know, there's obviously supposed to be this talk about, you know, whether, you know, because we know that the building itself needs a dire need of refurbishment. You know, it needs a makeover. It's really old, that building. It really does need some work. And they still want to do their work in there. Now, I suggested two things. Either knock the whole building down and start building up a new one, or take them out. But while, like, what happened to that conversation? Oh, never mind that. We want to increase the bar. The Commons should put this idea into the shredder and focus on reducing the cost of taxpayers and significant subsidies granted to the bar and the restaurants on the estate. Exactly. At a time when people are in a cost of living crisis. When he reopens, strangers will provide cover for glasses available on request, and there will be an increased pressure on security staff. Information on drink safety will also be displayed. Like, I'm just saying this now, guys. I honestly don't give a shit if they have to go to a bar or a pub across the road from it. I honestly don't care. Like, if they've got to go, like, I just don't want it in the House of Commons. I don't want us taxpayers subsidising it. Like, if they want to go and get a drink, go get a drink across the bar. Like, you're grown adults. You're not kids. You don't need it. When it was I don't mind the House of Commons having a lobbying area. I just don't want them having a bar. Like, when it was announced that Strangers was reopening, a spokesperson for the House of Commons said the safety of everyone on the estate remains a key priority for both houses. Following review of arrangements in Strangers Bar, the House of Commons Commission has endorsed a number of changes that aims to enhance existing safety measures and ensure the well-being of all customers who visit the bar. That's their answer, guys. A bigger pub. Because clearly, a bigger pub solves everything. Reduce the bars and the drinking times. I'm not sure if that's the solution. I just think, yeah, the system as a whole is broken. I just think the whole system is just broken, guys. I really do. They have procedures, and clearly the procedures aren't working. That's for sure. EC94 on Twitch says Macron is a handsome dude. I wouldn't know. I haven't met him, but you can go by. You have to ask him whether he's handsome or not. Unfortunately, I'm straight, so sorry to disappoint. I've got I get the security issues, but the bar needs to be modest. Says number 3. Zhao says to me, the EU deterrent is already here, led by France. The question there is the creation coming in months, maybe in a series of nuclear warheads deployed all over Europe. Yeah, well, we have nuclear weapons in Europe in some countries anyway, so I think that's important to highlight as well. Right, this one is from Twitter, guys. No one's done an article on this, probably because nobody wants to talk about it. Now, I am gonna be a little bit careful here because I don't. That's not exactly what the tweets say, but you guys can. I even sent it. I even tagged Max in this. I don't know if he was going to do a video on this or not, but here it is. So this is from the Twitter handle Reform. Excuse me. Reform Party UK exposed. So Reform UK candidate Derek Wilson has actually posted about assassinating the Prime Minister 3 times. Here is an archive of his most graphic posts. Now, my apologies. Apparently, I still haven't fully recovered. To be fair, I've recorded a lot of videos today, a lot. So here's one of them. If it pops up, it should do. So he says, so Lord Talbot said, this will probably get me locked up, but the UK cannot wait for the next election. By then, Starmer and his polar bowl will have destroyed the country and handed remembrance to Islam. We need a revolution before we need late. He says, I agree. Alternatively, I would not be opposed to a jackal type solution. We used to know how to deal with dictators around the world, and all of lead takes it all. Now, can someone tell me what the definition of jackal is? Because when I look it up, before I go to the next one, when I look it up here on Google, this is what Google are telling me it is. Now, if someone says differently, it says here, a person who performs dishonest or base deeds as a follower or accomplice of another. A person who performs menial or degrading tasks for another. That's apparently what it means. I don't know if that's not what it means. So, I don't know if that's what jackal means. So, if someone tells me that that's actually what it means, tell me. Because I'm not 100% confident in that. I'm not too familiar with the phrasing. But still. Here he is saying it again. Keir Starmer won't resign. He won't go until he's dragged out kicking and screaming. He does not care what we think. Here he is saying it again. We could solve the problem with a jackal type solution. An ounce of lead cures all dictators, he says. Remember, this is a Reform UK candidate. This is a Reform UK candidate, guys. Remember. Hi, Rosemary. Good to see you there. Could you, with your namesake, help about now? Because I'm beginning to think that only a jackal type innovation will get rid of Starmer now. An assassin, says number 3. It's a reference to the day of the jackal, Frederick Froskin, says Billy Kershaw. It means a hitman, says Madmont33. It doesn't say that. That's why I'm very conscious to say that. But my question is why this has been up. How long has this tweet been up, by the way, by Reform UK? Since 7:40 this morning, right? You Google this, right? You Google this. You won't find a newspaper article, anyone, the mainstream media talking about this. Why the fuck is no one mentioning this? Why is nobody saying to Reform? Why is nobody pointing out that a Reform UK candidate allegedly wanted the Prime Minister assassinated? Why is this not a story? Is my question. Why are we not talking about this? How can we not be talking about this? Like, do I have to go back on Twitter at the end of this live stream and tag Guardian, Sky News, Channel 4, all of them, to actually take this fucking tweet seriously? Like, is that what I need to do? I mean, it's already got 95,000 views. But clearly none of the media are taking any notice of this. Yeah, I asked Max if he's seen it or not. Someone tagged Nigel Farage. Don't know if he responded or not. I have sent a full report to the Durham Police Crime Commissioner with visuals, says Carol Hedge. That's good. I'm liking him more and more. The point is that he's making this one has been made many times before. There's been no legitimate way of... Sorry, I had the screen off. The point he's making this one has been made many times before. There is no legitimate way of removing an obviously inept and dishonest politician from government once elected. We can't force him to resign or vote out. Peter, are you insane? Peter, did you even read the tweet? You absolute donut. And then again, your badge says it all. I loathe Starmer with a passion, but this is a death threat. It's wrong and it's against the law. It's just another example of the kind of thugs and miscreants to be found amongst reform candidates. This is a guy who's got a British flag as a butterfly in his avatar. He wants Labour gone. Conservative Party member, there you go. Decent people need to wake up to what reform before it's too late. Another person with a British butterfly. Surely it's an illegal post. I've got no time for Starmer. My God, this is terrible and unacceptable. What a night job, this kind of thing. The tip make complete lunatic carry out something stupid. The jackal has some Portuguese in him too, says Zhao. Here are some examples of text posted by a government minister. Really? I don't know how true these are. I'll let you guys decide that. But the link for the tweet is in the description if you want to look at that. I don't know. I don't know about that. It's those from West Streeting saying he wants to break someone's leg. If it's true, it's very worrying indeed. Hold on, what was that? Reform is the answer, says Paul Paisley. Reform is the answer. You want to reform is the answer, says. You literally just had a Reform UK candidate calling for the assassination of the Prime Minister. Allegedly. Like, how do you think that's okay? This is the same Reform UK that voted against workers' rights as well. This is the same Reform UK. This is the same Reform UK that wants you to pay for your healthcare. Yeah, for all the immigration talk that they do, they want to do all that. Like, you're only seeing from one picture. I'm trying to understand Reform voters. I really am, guys. I really am trying to understand them. You know, my saying is always try to put myself in other people's shoes. But this, like here, it's good to see some right wingers calling it out in the responses. But why the hell is the media not covering this? I have no idea. I might yeah, I don't know if David McGuinness wants to cover it tomorrow, but I hope some of the bigger YouTubers actually highlight this, because I really do think this needs to be highlighted. Like, we're talking about Reform UK candidate on this. Let's see what else you guys are saying in the chat before we carry on. Partisan politics is not the way. In parliaments here, they have a cafeteria like any other public employee in large public buildings. They get drunk outside the premises. I have no problem with a cafeteria. Alcohol, yes, it should be a big fat no-no. Agree, Joe. If he was in undisclosed jail in France, I heard about him. Ryan Pega says half me legislating shields. Jack Weston Portuguese. There's a lot of shit on Twitter. Yeah, I know there's a lot of shit on Twitter. But that Twitter account is very, very reliable. Fascists and thugs are gaining confidence. Well, on Twitter you can say whatever you want and get away with it. Well, the way you talk in Parliament, they're either drunk or high or both. Bruce Willips and Richard Geese, as Simon says, 55. reference to the J Jackal. But yeah, that's yeah, very worrying indeed, guys. I might I don't know what really more I can add to it, but yeah, I might just tag some of the news outlets. Maybe they will respond. I don't know if they will or not, but they may do, they may not. It's worth a shot, I suppose. This last story I've got for you guys is from Byline Times. So Marks and Spencer has been hit by customer boycott over the GB News advert after the presenter labels the LGBTQ plus people. I'm not going to say that bloody word. Thousands of customers are threatening to stop using the support of the LGBTQ plus inclusive retail giant. So Marks and Spencers apparently are getting hit with a boycott because they're obviously supporting GB News, and this is how you hurt them. Like ever since October the 7th, I've stopped going to McDonald's. Like I miss McDonald's, but I will not set foot in the McDonald's because out of principle, just out of principle. And I can't remember the last time I ever set foot in an M&S, and this just reinforces my position of not wanting to go to M&S. This is how you force companies and businesses against. You force them to change their tune. Here, you hit them where it hurts them the most. Publicity and the pocket. If you boycott them, if you do campaigns against them, if you hurt them, you will force them to not support channels like GB News or support those who are in the benefit of others. We need this. They need to keep this growing, because any outlets or supporters who support GB News or have their adverts or promoting on GB News, they need to be hit and targeted hard. They need to be hit hard by campaigners, and they need to be targeted up and down the country, and people to know that if you're a worker of this business, or you support this business, or you're a supplier of this business, then you're against LGBTQ plus people. Like you need to be harsh about it, and you really do need to be strong about this. You're against LGBTQ plus people. That's what you need to put to them, because you support what GB News. You support GB News's claims on it, that they're a bunch of. That's the premise you need to come across. Some people may think it's too strong, but I think that's what needs to be done. I refuse to go to McDonald's too, says Rosemary. Yeah, but I do miss my milkshake, I'm not going to lie. The high street retailer Marks and Spencer's, which claims to be, and not for throwing out a Farage, I meant for drinking, which claims to be an LGBTQ plus inclusive retailer, has been hit by a boycott campaign over its decision to place advertising on GB News, which has involved a series of hate speech controversies. Campaigners say the retailer's decision to advertise on the channel contradicts its claims to be celebrating the LGBTQ plus community and making M&S a safe place where LGBTQ plus people feel they belong. Now, I do wonder if how many staff are of them within Marks and Spencers. Over 10,000 supporters of the Stop Funding Hate campaign have now contacted M&S or signed a petition to ask them to pull their ad spending with the right-wing broadcaster. Following the incident, which included the presenter saying the LGBT plus movement included, I'm not saying that word again. Last month, GB News presenter and comedian Josh Howie referred to a statement by the Escoplaskium, I can't say that word, church calling for the full inclusion of the LGBTQ plus people before adding, I just want to say that includes, while shouting the last word. Other comments have included a discussion on trans issue on Friday 24th of January, in which presenter Michelle Drewberry said some of these fellas that go around dressed as a woman with their frisbits in their bras, they are different, quite frankly. GB News also aired claims that trans-inclusive progressive pride flags is associated with misogyny identity that has proven to be a direct threat to human rights, supposedly for including trans people. Spokesperson for Stop Funding Hate told Byline Times Marks and Spencer has been advertised on GB News Radio, despite having made strong positive statements on both LGBTQ plus inclusion and climate. It's had a big response from our supporters so far. On the petition page, signatory Michael C. wrote, "I will not be buying anything from M&S until this advertising is stopped." Others joined the boycott, saying, "I'll never shop at M&S while they're paying for the far-right nasty GB News." Leslie added, "I've shopped at M&S for over 60 years. I don't appreciate them giving funds to advertise on GB News. I will not shop there again until they stop." And Jonathan HR wrote, "I'm going to shop at Lidl nearby now instead." Well, Lidl are cheaper, so you'll do better there. The channel has hit back against the protests, with Drewbury posting on X that stop funding hate campaigns represented a hate-filled activist bombarding M&S Facebook pages, trying to bully them into removing advertising. Yeah, bully them. Yeah, because you guys are against you're against trans people. You're clearly against trans people. These hate filler activists believe that theirs is the only view permitted to be heard. No, you guys are against LGBTQ plus people, and we don't want you in our society. We don't want your kind in our society. I believe everybody should be treated equally, but you don't want to treat everybody equally. That's why GB News deserves to go down. At the same time, GB News itself issued an email to supporters appealing for donations because its so-called hateful activists are targeting GB News advertisers. Yep, keep hitting them. Keep hitting them. Since the boycott campaign earlier this month, a Facebook group called Friends of GB News has also been paid for advertisers praising M&S for having advertised on its channel, encouraging viewers to ask them to keep doing so. Talk about the desperation. It's like that Twitter handler. Twitter handler that's been paid calling Trump for UK or something as well. Desperate. Over the weekend, Friends of GB News had an ad removed from Facebook by owner Meta for failing to disclose who paid for it, as it amounted to political campaigning. The reason given by Meta for the removal was this ad is ad about social issues, elections, or politicians. Didn't include a verified paid for by disclaimer, so it was removed. The ad said, "Support GB News and protect freedom of speech in our country," saying, apparently seriously, that the channel provides all the news and none of the bias. Wow. A Stop Funding Hate spokesperson mocked the efforts to counter their campaign as being definitely 100% autistic grassroots campaigning. M&S did not respond to a request for comment. However, one SFS supporter got a response from an M&S customer service after getting in touch. The M&S representative told them, "We appreciate your views on our advertising on GB News channel. Your feedback has been noted for consideration on our regular reviews of our advertising strategy." Stop Funding Hate have smashed a £10,000 target to hold GB News to account, raising nearly $25,000. The group plans to step up monitoring of the channel, which it views as an incubator of the far-right ideology. Yeah, I'm so glad we have campaigns like them. They are so good. Like Trump, the channel has been whipping up fear about migrants, Muslims, the trans people, putting communities at risk and dragging our politics into extreme to crowdfund the states. GB News was contacted for comment. The petition to M&S can be viewed here. So this is the website. I'm going to put a link in the chat for you guys. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put it in the chat for you guys there. If you want to cast your name there. But so far they've got 11,074 signatures. So do add your signature there. You just need first name, last name, email. You can write a comment down there on the right hand side as well. On that, Marks and Spencer's. Yep. Yep, someone else has just signed up. GB News is not news. It is evil. Far right nonsense, says DVG. Totally agree. It's disgusting that M&S supports a fascist news outlet, said LNW. This isn't just stupidity. It's this isn't just stupidity. It's M&S stupidity. Stop funding hate. Absolutely. So yeah, guys. Do cast that. I will put a link. What I'll do is as well at the end of this live stream, I'll put that link on for you guys as well. So do cast, add your vote to it. If you can share it across some other social media platforms, that link as well, please do so as well. Do feel free to add it on a couple of Discords, Facebook, other places where you got contacts as well. If my friends in Scotland wouldn't mind putting a link for that tomorrow morning on David McGuinness's pay-per-view, I'm sure he won't mind me won't mind if I ask that as well, because obviously it doesn't cost them anything to sign that petition. All it does is just highlight the issues that GB News has, because obviously they're not just a threat to England, they're a threat to the whole of the UK, including Scotland. So if my Scotland friends wouldn't mind that, I'd be greatly appreciated as well. But yes, hopefully, they really do wonderful work. I really do appreciate the Stop Funding Hate campaign. The Good Law Project. Some of these people, they do absolutely remarkable work, and they really do not get enough credit that they deserve. And the right wings, they despise these people. They despise the campaigns. They despise the reality being called out for them. But GB News needs to be taken down. We've got to keep hitting them. We've got to keep calling them out. We've got to keep highlighting them. Yes, the mainstream media may not talk enough about it, but we can keep talking about it. We have social media ourselves. We have the power to make people talk about it. And just because there's only roughly 13 people here doesn't mean that we can't spread it to another 2 people, another 5 people, another 10 people. So keep the conversation going is the best thing I can say, guys. Marks and Spencer's are meant to mean something here about quality. Now it's that English low-grade expensive crap, says Jow. Yeah, that'd be Brexit. Thanks, Brexit. Call them muck meals. This is number 3. Yeah, muck meals. Pork pies put on the shopping list, says Stephen Banker. Now, I do like pork pies. I do like my pork pies. I support the Good Law Project. Brilliant, says Rosemary. Yeah, they absolutely do. Do check out their work, guys. So, guys, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who has come along. Thank you, guys, for all your comments. Thank you, One Angry Pagan, for your renewed membership, guys. Yeah, I apologise if I wasn't 100% all over the place here. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be a lot better. But just a reminder, I've got a funny video before we see ourselves out. Don't worry, I've got a funny video for us. A very important, very important one from GB News. Don't worry, it's a very GB News, Broken News. Some very important one from Broken News that we need to talk about. But just a reminder for this week. So tomorrow, 6 p.m, the Snowflake Corner. If I'm not talking about Trump, I'll probably be talking about other world news, but probably have a bit of Trump news in there in America as well. So do check that out. We'll probably talk a bit about the German elections as well, because obviously that's a discussion we want to talk about as well. So we'll talk about all those things tomorrow. We have 2 live streams on Wednesday, back with Prime Minister's questions at 12 p.m. So do join me for that. And then in the evening, we'll have the Snowflake Watch. We'll be reacting to certain clips and stuff online. So do join me for that. On Thursday, myself and One Angry Pagan will be talking about all things, whether it's the environment, whether it's climate change, sea level rises, whatever the latest news that we have on all that kind of stuff, guys. We're going to be talking about it, and we're doing it because it matters, and it's important that we talk about these things. We're not going to be doing it every week. It's going to be like every couple of weeks, maybe once a month. But it's something that has been on my mind for a while. And it's something that really does need to be highlighted. So do join us this Thursday for that. As for the Snowflake Roundtable, I am working on a date for it. I just need to get one more person on board before I can confirm the date. I've got 2 people. I do want to get the same people I had before for this show. So I just bear with me on that. I will get a Snowflake Roundtable back. It just won't be till next month, guys. So unfortunately, there's not one this month. But I just wanted to put that out there. And like I said, I am planning to do a live stream on Friday at 7 o'clock. I just don't know what it'll be. It won't be a funny one, guys, but I am planning something there, guys. But let's, before we head out, let's have a bit of fun here. This very important story from Broken News.
Welcome to Broken News. Environmental campaigners say we have now passed the tipping point of climate change. It's after a middle-class man from Cheshire forgot to put a pizza box in the recycling. Our reporter has more.
For decades now, conspiracy theorists have pushed the debunked narrative that major international conglomerates, energy giants and governments have the most power to combat man-made climate change. Some fringe organisations say those people with literally all of the power and the money in the world should probably be the ones to do something about the possible end of the world. But now campaigners say the fight is lost after Brian Norrington from Warrington put cardboard in his regular black bin. The 44-year-old dad of two also didn't rinse out a milk carton before putting it in the green bin, leading to the deaths of around 30 polar bears. We understand that Mr. Norrington's wife, Liz, once failed to separate the cardboard bit from the plastic bit of Yeo Valley organic natural Greek-style yogurt pot. As a result, a massive bit of the Amazon rainforest burst into flames and had to be cleared by 120 JCBs and turned into an almond farm. In a statement, a spokesperson for the Department for the Environment said, "As a nation, we could take bold steps to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels, we could stop doing business with the most polluting companies, and we could invest in advanced recycling technologies. But there doesn't seem to be any point if Amy from Crewe won't put all her soft plastics in a carrier bag and drive it 3 miles to her nearest co-op in a 4.5-litre diesel Toyota Land Cruiser." Back to you.
Thank you. What a lovely story. That's all from Broken News. You're up to date.
Yep, it's all over, guys. It's all over. He fucked it. Oh, we got to have a bit of fun about the end of the world, hasn't it? So, guys, thank you guys so much for coming along. Have a great week, whatever you guys are doing. Take care and good night. No, can't say that. That's not me. That's Max. Listen too much of Max, don't I? But before we go, actually, we do actually have to check one more thing, actually. The gang behind me, they are still here. Ollie, Blaze, that's the Blaze here. Cash Dummy is here, and yes, I did knock Ollie off the. You did not see me knock Ollie off there. You did not see that. And Pingu there. For some reason, I can't get two of them in front now. I don't know what happened. So I don't know. Maybe I've just. I don't know what's happened here. I had more space, but now I don't. I'll try and figure something out anyway, guys. If you haven't already, guys, just before I head out. If you haven't already, hit that like button, be greatly appreciated. Share this across social media so others notify this video. Subscribe if you haven't, really does support the channel. If you want to go one step further and finally support me and the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p. And do check out the Patreon for exclusive content on that platform. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.